Welcome, my friend. In our home, the transition from winter to spring always starts in the kitchen and in the pastures. Today, I'm sharing with you a few of the things that have been keeping our hands busy, from a batch of fresh avocado mayo to jalapeno bacon deviled eggs. And we also have a new addition on the farm that I can't wait for you to meet. And of course, there's always a loaf of sourdough waiting to be scored. Our chickens are producing and Easter is almost here, and that means we have a ton of eggs. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, do that and hit the notification bell so you know when I've got a new video coming out. So today we're going to make some jalapeno bacon deviled eggs, but first I need some mayo for that recipe. So I am making real quick a batch of avocado mayo. It's very easy. It's on the blog at farmhouseharvest.net, and I will link it below. It's a little Dijon mustard, a little lemon juice, an egg, all in the bottom of a mason jar, and then 1 cup of avocado mayo. Then I use the immersion blender, start at the bottom and work my way up until you get this really nice fresh homemade mayo, and it tastes so much better than store-bought. I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it yet. I really love mayo, and this recipe is saving us a bunch of money and saving us from a bunch of chemicals from the store-bought stuff. It lasts about a week in the refrigerator, and it works great in any salad dressing that you're making. I've got the ranch salad dressing recipe that I use it for, and the tomatillo lime ranch dressing that I use it for, and I'm also using it today to make these jalapeno bacon deviled eggs. Since we have an abundance of eggs right now and Easter is right around the corner, I decided to dress them up a bit. These jalapeno bacon deviled eggs add just the right amount of kick. They're savory, they're a little tiny bit spicy, and they're the first thing to disappear on the table. I haven't bought store-bought eggs for a long time. I did buy a few in the winter when they weren't producing as many, but from spring until probably around November, our chickens are producing a ton of eggs, so I always have a few dozen eggs sitting on my counter and in the refrigerator. So cooking a fresh egg is a lot different than cooking a store-bought egg when you're hard boiling. So I really love to use the Instant Pot and cook these in the Instant Pot. It's really quick. You just do it for 3 to 5 minutes. If you want it jammy, you do it closer to 3 minutes. If you want them normal, then you cook them for 5 minutes in the Instant Pot, and then you just manually release it so it lets the steam out. And then you run them under ice water after that. And it just makes these eggs so easy to peel, and they come out beautifully. If you try to hard-boil an egg in boiling water, they just never peel quite right. This deviled egg recipe is super easy. I'm using 12 large eggs. Always cook a couple few just in case some of them open up. I'm using 1/4 cup of the homemade avocado mayo, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of yellow mustard, 2 teaspoons of pickle juice, 1/8 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper, 3 slices of bacon that are chopped up, and 1 fresh jalapeno that we have taken the seeds out and the membranes so that they're not too spicy. And then we garnish them with the crumbled bacon, sliced jalapeno, and then a little sprinkle of smoked paprika. I really love the flavor of the smoked paprika if you have that around. Otherwise, if you don't have it, it's no problem. Just use your regular paprika. If you're looking for something to do with your homemade Easter eggs that you've dyed, this recipe is delicious and your family will love it, I promise. There is a quiet energy on the farm this time of year. The chickens are back to their regular laying schedule and the cows are enjoying the first bits of green. But we recently brought home this little bottle calf, and adding him to our daily chores has been such a sweet rhythm. There's something so grounding about those early morning feedings. It's a reminder of why we chose this lifestyle in the first place. This is Buddy, and he's been such a joy to have on the farm. My daughter has been the one that really likes to feed him. She's been taking care of him morning and night. Sometimes I'll get out there and feed him a bottle if she doesn't have time, but he's been a joy to have around, and all the kids just love him. Baby cows are so sweet. If you ever have the chance, We just put ours in the woodshed because he needed a shelter and I didn't want to put him out with the big cows or horses. This just keeps him safe and makes it a lot easier to bottle feed him. Prices of cows are high right now, but if you compare the price of a full-grown cow to the price of a bottle calf, you'll realize that there's a huge difference. And we already grow a lot of alfalfa on our farm, so the only food investment that we have to pay for him is the milk, which costs about $40. Then when he's full grown, he's worth between $4,000 and $5,000, or just a lot of really good beef that we can feed to our family that's grass-fed and grass-finished right here on our farm. For dinner tonight, I am leaning into some of those brighter flavors of lemon and garlic grilled chicken. This is one of those staple recipes in my rotation because it's simple but so nutrient dense, full of protein. The marinade is something you probably wouldn't think of going together, but it's olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, honey, which makes it caramelize really nicely on the grill, a bunch of fresh garlic, salt, and pepper. That's it. And then you stir that together, and the lemon juice and the honey combined with the fresh garlic, it takes the really strong flavor of the garlic away and transforms it into something just really gentle and beautiful and delicious with grilled chicken. So I will be linking this recipe, as always, in the description box below so that you can go and print it out and try it for yourself. It's a simple marinade. I also tried it on some firm tofu for those who have vegetarians or are trying to make a meatless meal. It is great on tofu also. I always start by pounding out my chicken and making sure that it's all about the same thickness so that it cooks all about the same time on the grill. And then you don't get some dry pieces and some moist pieces. They should all cook about the same time and be nice and tender. So I'm pounding those out inside a Ziploc bag. That just makes it super easy, keeps your mallet clean, and it's just a lot less cleanup with the chicken juices. Then I just pour my marinade right into that bag, give it a nice good squish, and put it in the refrigerator. I'm refrigerating this for a few hours. You can refrigerate it for 12 hours or 24 hours. You want to heat your grill up nice and hot, about 400 or 450 degrees. Get it on the grill, and then remember not to turn them until you have some nice grill marks on the bottom. I always use my instant read thermometer to make sure that my chicken has reached 165 degrees internal temperature. That's when you know that they're perfectly done. Don't let them go any farther than that because you don't want them to get dried out. But 165 degrees, they're nice and tender and juicy. After they come off the grill, let them rest for 10 or 15 minutes so that the juices inside them can redistribute before you slice them. I don't think I'll ever tire of the sourdough process, even after all these years, seeing the way a simple mix of flour and water transforms into a beautiful, airy crumb. It is so rewarding and relaxing. I have been working on this particular hydration level lately. It is the simple sourdough bread recipe on the blog. I will link it below. I'm focusing on a tight shape to get that perfect oven spring, but this is the perfect backbone to almost any meal. There's one more exciting thing on the farm that I forgot to share with you. We have one more exciting little gem, and that is Big Bertha has given birth. And we thought she was bred to an Angus, but I think she was actually bred to a, what is their name? The white cow. Can't remember. Charolais. That's what it is. I think she was bred to a Charolais. Her baby was pure white, is pure white, and she is a girl. So we are growing our herd, and I think we are naming her Snow White. Thank you so much for joining me today for our little slice of life here on the farm. If you're looking for full recipes or want to see more about our homesteading journey, you can find everything over at farmhouseharvest.net. I'll see you in the next video.